This week on the show, we get into Batman Day, plus movies we think maybe you should give a second look. Some might call them underrated movies. Yeah, welcome to Blockbusted. Hey, Hitchcock, happy Batman Day. Just to get that out of the way, it is Batman Day today. That's a pretty big deal.
That's cool.
Why didn't we do our Batman the Animated Series episode today? So 2 weeks ago. Dang, didn't know.
I had no idea this even existed. So
I read a Twitter moment this morning, and it was someone who had done this whole story through tweets, and it was like a Batman Day carol, and it was the story of A Christmas Carol, except he's visited by the ghost of Batman Day past, Batman Day future, and Batman Day present, and it's Michael Keaton and Christian Bale and Ben Affleck, and then at the end they go, "Young lad, what day is it today?" And he says, "Why, it's Batman Day, sir."
That's pretty good.
It was real good.
Good old Batman.
Today's the mark of, I guess, the first issue of when he first debuted, I think. I don't know. I'm too lazy to do the research, so, you know.
Totes.
You know what I've decided?
Yeah.
I've decided we need to have more energy in these podcasts. We need to be funnier. We need to be more energetic, okay?
We do.
So just stand with me here, and we're going to do a nice, rally here, okay? Ready? Yeah, let's do this. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, you don't.
I had an idea to do that last night, and then I didn't really piece it together. So, yeah, never mind. That energy's gone. You had an anecdote, I think, today.
Yeah.
So, a little story to tell.
I do. I have a story, and it's a pretty good one, you know. This week we got Civil War, which came on Blu-ray.
Oh, yes.
Great. We need to talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that in Pick of the Week.
Yeah, I watched that, rewatched that for only the second time. I mean, come on.
Jeez, Mike. Jeez.
And I rewatched that for the second time, and I watched all the bonus features and everything. I was really feeling the MCU vibe, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And
you were I'm feeling the MCU vibe, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so
I'm high on the MCU.
Oh gosh. When it was confirmed that Captain America gave away the mantle of Captain America when he dropped his field, and so I was like, dang, what is coming next, you know? What's phase 4? What's going to happen? And I remembered something. I was like, oh wait, we did an episode on this way back in the day when we were just so professional and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I went back.
We've since devolved into just rants.
Oh yeah, exactly.
With no professionalism whatsoever.
But so I went back and found the first episode that we posted on iTunes, episode 13, titled "Marvel Phase 4: What's Next."
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I listened to this thing.
And you almost killed yourself.
Piece.
I hear. Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
I remember having a good time with that episode, too.
Really? No, dude. Oh, my gosh. I went back and re-listening just to give you some idea. So you don't have to go listen to it for yourself. Good.
It's
Thank you. Bad.
Thanks for the burden lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah. Number one is I say, a total of 136 times in 44 minutes.
Wow.
44.
I'm gonna do the division here. That's
3 yeahs a minute.
How many times? 136. 136 divided by 45 minutes. That's 3 times per minute. Yes, you're right.
Exactly.
Just checking your math there.
And it's so funny because you'll say something just to get the conversation rolling, you know, try to get us energetic and just get talking, right? And I just respond, yeah.
See, that's the thing. Neither of us had quite figured out at that point because the thing about podcasting, I said this a couple days ago, is that it's all about keeping that train rolling, and no matter what, you just keep talking, right?
Exactly.
You tried your best to eliminate awkward pauses. Kind of like when you're on a date, you know? And you just don't want to have any awkward silence.
No, what's funny is because there is so much awkward silence in this. I mean, it just comes down to 1 or 2 seconds, but even that, it's just so awkward because you'll say something, and I think you might have synced up the tracks wrong or something, you know? And so you'd say something a question or something, there'd be a and then I respond, you know? And
that was awkward just in itself. Just
exactly.
Now,
it's
I'm
so
terrified.
awkward.
And
the last thing is that it's just so funny to me is that as I was listening, I was remembering like what I was doing at that time, you know. And I was like, I remember being so unprepared for this episode and like last minute wrestling through my comic book and trying to figure out something to say.
Yes.
You know? But the best thing is, this did not just in this episode, but you would have this. This would happen in past episodes as well. It would be when you would say director, actor, or character or something, and I have absolutely no clue who you were talking about.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And this is what you would hear. You hear
click, click,
click, type. As I Googled their name, and then as soon as I pulled up, I would go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
That's pretty good.
And it's just hilarious. It's so bad I can't even. But yeah, there's the whole spiel on episode number 13 when we first got on iTunes.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible.
Oh yeah. We felt so professional, and now we just feel like idiots, I guess. But I don't know.
Oh,
there's that awkward silence again. I don't think we've quite eliminated that yet.
No.
See, that's ultimately my deepest fear in life. Like, not even just with podcasting, but like in life in general, is that I'll look back at something I was proud of and go, man, that was garbage, right?
Yeah.
So every time I make anything, I try my best to put myself in a mindset to go, I will probably think this is bad in 10 years, and there's not a problem with that. So that when I look back, I can say, well, I knew it was bad then, right?
Exactly.
Because it's not so much the fact that it was bad that bugs me. It's the fact that I thought it was good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I try my best to not think that anything I make is good.
That's how you got to do it.
Yes.
I don't think I quite reached that point when we were doing these early episodes.
Anyway, so news this week, Hitchcock. So let's jump right into this. Tom Holland posted a photo from the location where they filmed the Avengers compound.
Yeah,
this
good
week.
Old Tom.
Yeah, he's
good
pretty
old
sweet,
Tom.
right?
He's so cool.
Which has led to speculation that Spider-Man could be going to the Avengers compound to visit Tony Stark in Spider-Man: Homecoming. So that's pretty sweet,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the idea that this Spider-Man is part of the universe, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Oftentimes with these standalone movies, especially like Iron Man 3 or Winter Soldier, people go, where are the Avengers? You know, where are they? With this, that's not going to be the case, right? Like, this is totally
involved.
In that universe involved. Yeah.
Oh,
which
it's going to be so
sweet.
good. I can't wait for it. I'm so pumped.
Side note, the Avengers compound is filmed at a car dealership, so that's interesting.
It is. It makes kind of sense, I guess.
I guess. I mean,
don't know.
I'm trying to think of a witty joke. I don't have one. Let's move on.
Oh, well.
So, speaking of...
Nope.
Michael Giacchino replaced Alexander Desplat as the composer for Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yes.
Which makes
that
me
is
pumped.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Michael Giacchino is
He's
one
amazing.
of the best composers of our age. Okay.
Yeah. He is so good.
What has Giacchino done? He's done Up, Jurassic World. Jurassic World's real good. Inside Out, yes.
Yeah. Star Trek. He's in the Star Trek.
Yes. The Star Trek soundtracks are so good.
Yes.
The Incredibles he did. Tomorrowland. So much good stuff.
A lot of good
stuff. Just
stuff.
really good.
Oh.
He's one of the best. Oh, and Zootopia. Yeah, he did Zootopia.
Okay.
I watched a featurette about that. He was very dedicated to that soundtrack.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of his stuff lately, and he's just so good.
It's real good.
I love it. I love his style of composing and everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Very kind of zany in some ways. Like, it's kind of all over the place, which I like. It's funny that they're doing him for Rogue One, because Rogue One's supposed to be this gritty kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's not really done that a whole lot that's
gritty.
Star Most of his stuff has been kind of fun.
Know?
Yeah, Star Trek, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Star Trek's a little more campy than Rogue One, I feel like.
So, yeah.
It'll
be interesting to see, though, what he brings to the table.
He replaced Alexander Desplat, who actually kind of fits Rogue One a little bit more, I think, I like Giacchino better. Desplat has done
that's a great
Harry Potter.
Name.
He did the last 3 Harry Potter movies, I believe. As well as some other stuff that I can't remember. So that's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Desplat, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good last name.
Wouldn't you like that to be your nickname? Hey, it's Desplat.
There's a girl at my driver's ed with her last name was Savage.
Hey. That reminds me of Derek Savage, who I won't get into. He's a terrible person.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very odd.
But so this week, we also got a new Disney's Moana trailer.
Yeah.
And I had been hoping for a trailer this week. That's not exactly what I wanted, but hey, it was pretty good, right?
It was. It's going to be such a beautiful film. You know, the animation, the water looks great. And, I can't wait for it. Lin-Manuel Miranda's doing the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be great. It's Hamilton, I don't know if it's a musical or if it's... I guess it's a musical, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really looking at it as
or if it just has songs in it, you know.
I think it just has songs, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm definitely looking forward to this a ton.
I like these Disney movies really embrace their cultural roots.
Yeah.
You know? Like with Frozen, definitely. They embrace that kind of that Nordic atmosphere. With Brave, they embrace that sort of Scottish type thing. And then with this, they're really embracing that South Pacific Islander kind of mythological, you know...
Yeah.
Nature is gods and whatever. Like the water. I like this idea that the water is her friend or something. That's
great.
Very creative
cool.
and cultured.
Uh-huh.
And once again, just beautiful animation, right?
It is.
I feel like we saw the whole movie in that trailer, though.
Yeah. That was one of my gripes with it.
I still don't know what the plot is really. So that's good. Yeah.
It just seems like we saw a little snippet of every scene, you know.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Exactly.
It'll be good, hopefully.
Speaking of, it'll be good, hopefully.
Yeah. What do we got?
Zack Snyder has revealed a new photo of Batman's stealth suit for Justice League. And
in honor of Batman Day.
In honor of Batman Day. He did it like 4 days ago, though. Why didn't he just wait till Batman Day?
In honor of Batman Day.
Yeah. But so essentially it's the Batman suit. Looks a little more tricked out. He's got like sunglasses, but... Oh. This kind of sparked this whole meme kind of thing that's comparing him to Night Owl from Watchmen. Who looks... The sunglasses make him look exactly the same.
Does he?
So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't know.
Okay, then. I mean,
it's not really anything momentous, but people will make a big deal out of anything when they see Batman in a photo.
They will.
You know?
They really will. And it's pretty much to me looked like that one suit from BVS where he's in the desert with some... glasses on, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw that suit in real life at Dragon Con.
Oh, did
that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Special. So special. But yeah, it's
I'm
all right.
Through
in honor of Batman Day. Good old Batman Day.
Congratulations, customer. Your iPhone has been randomly selected to receive a courtesy $1,000 gift card.
Hey!
No! Ugh.
What?
Why? This virus stuff. Can your phone get a virus? Can it? I don't know.
Probably. People.
Now, Luke Cage is out there at the end of this month. That'll be good.
Is he?
Yeah. Is he?
Is he?
Anyway.
I don't watch those shows. So.
Lots of these TV shows are kind of premiering this month and next month as well. Like Flash is coming back. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back this week, I think.
Okay.
And that's going to have Ghost Rider in it. So that's going to be sweet, right? Like,
that'll be cool.
Props to Marvel for realizing the limitations of their characters.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right? Like, you can't give Ghost Rider his own movie. They've tried in the past. It sucked.
Yeah.
He's not that type of character. But if you put him in a TV show, he can really flourish, you know?
It's going to be cool, yeah.
Should be great.
I'll watch it just to see that. I'm interested to see what they'll do with him. Didn't we get some cover art with him in it?
Yes. Yeah. Lots of promo art. They're advertising him as like a star of this next season and stuff, so that should be cool. But speaking of unable to support their own movie, the last bit of news is a Harley Quinn movie is in the works with Margot Robbie producing. Yay, Harley Quinn.
My favorite. I am so pumped.
DC's like, you get a movie, and you get a movie, and you get a movie, and everybody gets a movie. You know? Like, I don't understand this. My prediction is they're just going to cancel all this Justice League crap, and they're going to go, let's just do what all the people want. And they're just going to make like a Killer Croc movie, and a Deadshot movie, and a El Diablo movie, and a Harley Quinn movie.
A Slipknot movie?
Slipknot movie. That would be goals, you know?
You got a dude that climbs walls.
I want to see a Slipknot Harambe team up. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. It's gonna be terrible. I don't see how she can support her own movie.
No,
you know? It's
and you've already showed her origin story
exactly
in Suicide Squad. So what else are you gonna show? Like,
I mean, maybe if they rename it Joker and Harley. Maybe,
yeah, maybe.
You know, because I mean, they can't. I mean, regardless, Joker's got to be in it. You know.
But see, here's the thing about film.
Here's the thing.
You don't take a character you like and you write a story around that. Okay, that's not how it works. You take a story you like and you put a character into it that makes the story interesting, right? Yeah. Like when you put Captain America into a political thriller, it makes it really interesting because Captain America's like, America's great, and then he finds out that America's not great, you know?
Definitely.
You don't say, okay, Captain America, let's see what we have, and let's write a story around Captain America, right? You write a good story, and then you put a character into it, and you see how they react.
Exactly.
So, just the baseline idea that you're just going to make a movie based on the character of Harley Quinn is not really a good... And maybe it'll be good, but... I mean, I guess she was the best part of Suicide Squad. Good? You know, I don't know. I have no hope for these DC movies. Except maybe the solo Batman movie could be amazing.
It could.
Kind of pumped for that.
Batman Day.
Yeah, happy Batman Day. All right, so what are we talking about this week, Hitchcock?
We're talking about
our topic for the week.
Underrated movies that don't get enough credit, movies that more people need to hear about, you know,
movies that no one has heard of, or if you have heard of it, you might not have seen it, movies that maybe you need to revisit because you know, I don't know, you haven't given it enough credit or time, I don't know.
Definitely.
So each of us has about, how many do you have, 6
or 7?
Yeah, each of us has about 6 or 7 underrated movies, and we'll go back and forth. We'll talk about these, and we urge you to check these out. I'll probably put the names of the movies in the description of this episode, just so you can
are we doing spoilers? I don't have any spoilers in my stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
Yeah.
Because if we're telling people they need to check these out, we should probably make this simpler.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers for any of these movies. All
Listen
right.
to this with an open heart.
So would you like to start this right now? Would you like to be the catalyst? The propeller, as some might say.
Maybe.
If you will.
I guess so. I guess you're kind of putting me up there, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Pushing me away. Okay, so my first movie is one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love this movie, and it's Tron Legacy.
Oh, here we bloody go there.
It is so good. I love this. So just to give you the synopsis or how this is, so it's the story of Sam Flynn, who's played by Garrett Hedlund, and he's the son of a video game developer.
Whose side note was maybe going to be cast as Han Solo at one point, but wasn't. Yeah.
He's a son of video game developer Kevin Flynn, his dad, played by Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
And Kevin Flynn, Sam's dad, goes missing. And it's not till years later that Sam gets pulled into this cyber world that his dad created. Like Tron is basically in this world a video game that people play, really popular.
Have you seen the original?
No, I haven't. I've seen clips of it on YouTube and stuff, but I want to see it.
And that's about as good as we get here on Blockbuster when it comes to Reacher. I've seen clips of it on YouTube.
Exactly. No, but Sam gets pulled into this cyber world that his dad created, and where his dad's been trapped in this world for some 20 years, you know? Yeah. And so it's
like you do. Like people do.
Yeah. No, they're trapped in this world being sort of held hostage, if you will, and there's some really cool motorcycle battles and disc battles, which are great, and the rest of the movie they're just trying to escape this world, and it's great. I absolutely love it, you know.
So this is your Pacific Rim.
It is. It kind of is. Yeah, I was thinking about
dumb,
that.
But it's awesome.
It is. I mean, it's just got that feel to it that I love. It's such a cool concept, you know. There's really nothing like it because they're pulled into a computer essentially.
I remember thinking it looked so cool when it came out.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I didn't understand a single bit of it though, because I was 9 years old and I hadn't seen the original.
You need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I guess I should.
But it's really cool. I mean, the concept is just brilliant, and the colors, like it's like neon lines, and it just looks so cool.
It's got a pretty sweet color scheme.
It is. It has orange and blue, and it's great. And the soundtrack has one of my favorite soundtracks soundtracks in any movie, it's done by Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
He's like, yeah, but you wouldn't think him to do a soundtrack, but he has a really cool feel to this movie, you know. And it's kind of got that 80s feel, you know. Yeah. Back when like arcade games were really big and that stuff. But yeah, it's just great. I absolutely love it. It's just I have such a fun time watching it. Definitely give it a watch if you haven't.
You know what I absolutely love, Hitchcock?
Yeah.
Meet the Robinsons.
Hey,
okay?
There you
go. So
there's
a movie. It's a Disney animated movie that came out in 2007, I believe.
Okay.
I remember this was one of the first movies that I saw on my birthday and wanted to go see again because I loved it so much. You know, when you're a kid, you don't really think about seeing movies again or whatever.
Sure.
And I remember seeing this two or three times in the theater. So essentially, it was back in the day before Disney kind of started their new age with like Tangled and Frozen and stuff. And they were more in that Bolt, Chicken Little, Meet the Robinsons kind of age. And that wasn't a very good age for Disney, but Meet the Robinsons is a very good film. Essentially, it's about this dude who's an orphan, and he's taken to the future by this time traveler named Wilbur in this time machine, I guess. And it's one of these things where it's like all a circle, you know? And like by the end of the movie, the whole time travel plot comes full circle, as in like basically he comes to the future, he gets to know this family and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like this crazy wacky family. They've got like a pet dinosaur and stuff. I think it's their pet. I don't know. He sees the future. It's like insane, and it's all made by this dude who is very similar to Walt Disney. Like there's a lot of Walt Disney parallels.
Cool.
And small spoiler alert, I don't really think this is a spoiler. He kind of finds out that dude is himself. Towards the end of the movie, and so that kind of changes the game and stuff. And it has this whole circle thing towards the end of like him becoming that person and whatever. And it's always really cool to see like a payoff there.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
Kind of like how Harry cast the Patronus at the end of Prisoner of Azkaban and go, yeah, I love that payoff.
Yeah.
But so it's quite a good time travel movie. It's kind of campy. It's got some dumb stuff, but really emotional towards the end. And just, I think more people should check it out. It's just really good.
Cool.
I'm a huge time travel fan, so you know.
Yeah.
You know, side note, real quick. Here's the thing.
Oh no.
I was thinking about YouTube today.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how oftentimes people some of the channels that have the best fan bases are dedicated to like a niche, like filling a niche in that. Like I saw a channel the other day. It was like Islam and it was like it was like a Muslim guy and his takes on movies or whatever. And that's a really particular kind of thing, Muslim movie fans, right? But his audience was really dedicated. His videos got tons of views, you know, because the people feel like that's so them, right? The few people, that's a particular thing that they fall into, so they're dedicated to it. And same with, like, the dude named Say Goodnight Kevin. He reviews Christian movies. That's not a particularly mainstream thing, but, you know, it's something that certain people like me like to talk about and hate on in some ways. But, so, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, well, what kind of niche could I be? Because my channel's very much like movies, but just kind of movies in general. Like, there's no particular focus, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I was thinking about was, like, politics. I'm a very political person. I like thinking about politics. And I was like, what if I did a channel about movies and politics and how they kind of link together? And then I was also thinking about time travel. Because I freaking love time travel. I mean, I'm kind of an expert on it.
That's
which
great.
You would know if we hadn't deleted that episode called Time Travel.
that one time travel episode back in the day.
So I was thinking about, what if I did a channel called like Time Travel Explained or something, and it was like explaining the different theories of time travel in every movie, right? Like there could be Time Travel Explained, Back to the Future, Time Travel Explained, Meet the Robinsons, Time Travel Explained, Terminator, right?
Yeah.
That could be pretty good.
Time Travel Explained.
Yes.
In Edge of Tomorrow.
Hey,
which brings me
movie.
to my next point.
Oh my gosh, that segue. Oh, that was amazing.
No, yeah, my next movie is Edge of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is a time travel centered movie, and
yes,
I don't see how this movie hasn't got more people watching it. I mean, it's just such a great movie.
Yeah.
Here's the synopsis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the Earth. When did this come out? 2014.
14, yeah.
Yeah. So the Earth is attacked by aliens, and the world isn't able to do anything about it. So they build these suits that just kind of enhance the human, and like big bulky suits with like guns and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And when Major William Cage, who's played by Tom Cruise, he gets tangled into this mess and is forced to battle against these aliens. So he goes into the battle and he gets killed. He dies. Mm-hmm. But he's wakes
covered
up,
in this blue blood.
Exactly. He's covered in blue blood, and he wakes up the day before the battle.
Yeah.
He's thrown into a time loop, and then he goes through the same stuff, goes into battle, dies, wakes up again.
Yes.
And so it's just such a cool time travel movie.
So essentially, it's Groundhog Day with an action sci-fi feel. Groundhog Day is a great movie, by the way. And I think that's all I was going to say.
No, but then he meets Rita Vrataski.
Vrataski, right?
Vrataski, who's played by Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt's a great actress.
She is, definitely. And they team up because the same thing happened with her. They team up to destroy these aliens that have attacked Earth.
Yes.
A whole lot of different time travel elements in it, which is
well,
great.
And it's one of those things, just like in Groundhog Day, where like you're repeating the day.
Yeah.
Over and over, and you're kind of gradually learning everything about that day and what will always transpire
what to do,
in
what
it.
not to do.
Yeah, so it's got some great montages, right?
Yeah,
of like the same thing happening over and over and over until he gets it right.
The time travel is done so well in this movie. You know, it's just such a cool concept that you don't see often. Mm-hmm. You know, with the whole time loop, and of course Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise are fantastic as their characters, and they have a really good relationship. You know, throughout the movie, which is cool to see. And it's just a great sci-fi action alien kicking butt movie. You know,
and people say we don't have original movies nowadays. You know what? This is a very original movie. Just no one went to go see it. We have plenty of original movies. People just don't see them.
Exactly, because they're underrated.
Yeah, I do feel like it stumbles a little bit in the third act once the whole day repeating stuff kind of goes away a little bit.
Sure.
That's my least favorite bit of it, but it's still a fantastic movie.
It is.
One of the better smarter blockbuster action movies of the past few years. So, that's pretty great.
It's just cool to see time travel and all that, you know?
Yeah.
It's great. So,
all right. My next movie is The Spiderwick Chronicles. Okay, so have you seen this movie?
Dude, I saw this movie when I was little. It absolutely freaked it freaked me out, dude. I remember staying up at night, just not being able to go to sleep, imagining this little green creature in my
So for those who don't know, The Spiderwick Chronicles came out 2008, maybe.
Okay.
And this movie was like my childhood. I'm telling you. Essentially, it's about this boy who they move into a new house. It's like a haunted kind of house. He finds this book, and it's like a book. It's kind of like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's like a book of all these magical creatures that the old man who used to live there has kind of journaled about and talked about and stuff. So essentially, turns out there's this whole unseen fairy realm, and it's got goblins and brownies and brownies as in like little kind of like house elves. And all these different magical creatures, trolls and stuff, and that in itself is really magical. The world building in this movie is done so well, and it's like basically you can only see them if you're looking through this certain kind of stone with a hole in it and stuff, and so they're kind of unseen and whatever. So they have to go on this adventure, he and his siblings, because this book has he's opened the book, and now this goblin or troll, I guess, named Mulgarath. Ogre, that's what he is.
Okay.
Named Mulgarath is wanting the book because, it has all the information on all the fairies, so he can destroy them or whatever. And it stars Freddie Highmore, who's one of my favorite actors of when he was younger. He's only in, like, the Bates Motel show now, but he used to be great. And he plays two people in this movie because he plays twins.
Okay.
And they're often in the same frame. So it's kind of like me and El Dorados, right?
Yeah, there you go.
But so it's just a really good movie in terms of fantasy. It's very original. There's not a whole lot like it. The world building, once again, is great in terms of all these fairies and monsters and stuff that they develop as different animals and stuff. Good characters, good effects, and then kind of a heartwarming ending because, it's a family movie, guys.
Definitely.
But, yeah, when I saw that movie as a kid, me and my little sister would go around in the backyard looking for fairies and whatever. For like a couple years after that, we were totally into that.
That's so cool.
So it was, great movie. I really love it.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that. That's definitely on my rewatch list.
It's real good.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's good. My next movie is The Walk, which came out just this past year. 2015. And it's the true story about Philippe Petit, played by Joseph Gordon. What?
Philippe.
Philippe?
Yes.
Okay, whatever. Played by Joseph.
Have you even seen this movie, Hitchcock? Huh?
No.
That's what I'm asking.
Played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he has this dream of becoming a tightrope walker, and just inspiring and showing his talents to the world on all that. And so, as he becomes older, he acquires a dream to walk across the Twin Towers on a tightrope.
Yes.
And led by Papa Rudy, who's played by Ben Kingsley. He secretly hangs a wire between the two buildings, and on August 7, 1974, he walks across them.
Did you just copy and paste the Wikipedia synopsis into every one of these?
No, I didn't.
So
I wrote my own.
Oh.
Oh.
Hitchcock did work for this episode. He didn't wing it. I'm baffled, actually.
So yeah, it's a great, beautiful movie. It's just I absolutely love it. It's on my top 10.
He's a great director.
Yeah, he is. Definitely.
Back to the Future, Forrest Gump.
Yeah, he's great.
This movie's on my top 10 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's one of these movies that's always on and off. I go, I want it to be on my top 10, but but it's as a person who I love France, and he's a French guy, and I also love New York. It's definitely a love letter to kind of both of those cultures and cities, and the Twin Towers, of course, which is very kind of. It's a sensitive topic, but they handle it really well.
They do, and the CGI on them are great, especially when he's walking across the wire.
Yes.
Just so beautiful.
It's one of these movies where they rebuilt the entire city of New York in CG, which is incredible. Much like the Avengers did.
It looks great. Yeah. It's so good. And it's another one with one of my favorite soundtracks by Alan Silvestri.
Alan Silvestri is one of the best.
Yes.
Yeah. He's real good.
Beautiful soundtrack. Goes so well with the movie. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely go give it a watch.
There you go.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Absolutely.
I feel like this is a little bit more of more people have seen it than some of the others.
Yeah, it's probably one of the more well known on this list.
Still quite good.
Still doesn't get enough credit,
Alan Silvestri has scored almost every single one of Robert Zemeckis' films. He scored Back to the Future. He scored Forrest Gump. He scored The Avengers, which isn't Robert Zemeckis, but Castaway is Robert Zemeckis. He also scored Polar Express. Have you ever seen that movie? That's great.
Yeah, I saw that.
For real good. Anyway, my next film is which one to choose? The Water Horse. That's what I'm going with.
There you go.
This is another movie that's kind of on and off my top 10 a lot. I saw this movie. It came out in 2007. I saw it when I was 7. It was in the Dollar Theater, and it just had a huge impact on my life because, and I really don't feel like a lot of people have seen this. This is a very underrated movie. I don't think many people have seen it at all.
Sure.
But essentially, it's a Loch Ness Monster movie where this boy discovers an egg. His name is Angus, and he's played by Alex something. And he's a real good actor in a couple other movies like Millions as well. But essentially, he discovers a Loch Ness Monster egg, and he raises the Loch Ness Monster, and he kind of grows up, but he's trying to keep the secret and whatever. And it's set during World War II, which makes it infinitely more interesting because the British troops are occupying Scotland around Loch Ness and stuff, and kind of wary of the Germans and stuff. And so they think sometimes that the Loch Ness Monster is a submarine, and so there's some drama involving that or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just really gave me a love for Scotland and the UK in general.
Yeah.
This movie did that, and Harry Potter gave me this love for the UK, and
that's cool.
It's showcases some beautiful scenery around Loch Ness and good effects in terms of the Crusoe is what he names Nessie, and yeah, it's just a really heartfelt movie.
Cool.
It's not particularly original, it's just one of these movies. It's like, oh, it's a dude and he has a little pet or something, it's like E.T. or anything else like that, but it's just executed very well.
Cool.
And I just remember it stuck with me for a long time after that. So people should go check that out again. It's real good.
Cool.
The Water Horse. That's all I have to say.
Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Talking about having pet animals.
Maybe.
My next movie is We Bought a Zoo.
Hey.
Which came out a few years back, and this movie follows the story of Benjamin Mee, who's played by Matt Damon, and his family after his wife has died and really rattled the family. And so Benjamin, he decides to move to a new house, just kind of give his family a fresh start, And so as they're looking, they come across this house that happens to be a zoo, and he buys it, and they raise the zoo, they bring it back to life, and they open it up to the public, and it's really, really good. And
it's got Scarlett Johansson in it.
It has Scarlett Johansson in it, which Scarlett Johansson and Matt Damon both are great, of course, as the characters. But then also the kids, who are they? Colin Ford and Ellie Fanning and Maggie Elizabeth Jones, who
I met at Barnes & Noble one time.
Yeah. Very nice. But they're all great in this movie, and it has some great character development throughout it.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And of course, I'm a huge sucker for good soundtracks. And this has another one that I love by Jonesy. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a beautiful film, and I love it.
This is one of those movies that's definitely like a niche film. In that there's a very small amount of people that have seen it, but the people who see it really love it. Sure. I know some people who have it on their top 10, and they're like, it would never come off. And just kind of want to share it with everyone because it's so good. Much like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, it's one of those movies that not a lot of people see, but when you do, you kind of love it. I kind of hated it as a kid when I saw it because it's got that teenager in it, and he's really depressed about the death of his mom and stuff, and he's like all goth and stuff. And I was like, I just don't want to be like him, But now I've looked at it again. I've seen it again from a more
mature perspective,
and it's very good, very
good. Definitely. It's but
fantastic. So speaking of niche films, Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Hey.
This was a movie that came out in 2013. Most people have heard of it, I think. Ben Stiller, and essentially it's based on like a short story, but very, very loosely, from like the 40s or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of those movies that I don't know a whole lot of people who have seen it, but the people that do, just love it, adore it. And that's the same thing with me. Essentially, it's about a dude played by Ben Stiller who is always daydreaming. He doesn't have much of a life in general. He's kind of this second-rate, nobody really talks to him employee at Life magazine, which is very interesting. And he's always daydreaming about this whole life that he wishes he had. So that provides for a lot of kind of fun sequences in which, like, he's dreaming he's on a mountain, and he's dreaming he's like an action superhero and stuff, and that's super fun. But ultimately, that's not the best part of the film. The best part of the film is the character writing. Yeah. And essentially what happens is he's been kind of dreaming about having a life for all this time, and then this negative, he's a photo analyst. He develops the photos at Life magazine. The negative for the photo for the last issue of Life magazine is lost. And so he has to go on this kind of adventure to find the dude who took the photo, who's like this elusive photographer that you never know where he's going to be. So he has to like go to Greenland and Denmark, maybe Denmark, I don't know.
Is it Iceland, maybe?
Iceland, I guess, yeah. And he's trying to find the photographer and stuff. So he kind of, the tagline for the movie, I think, was "Stop dreaming, start living."
Yes.
And it's just a very artistic film.
It is.
Beautifully shot. beautiful music, great performance by Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is a great actor.
He is.
He can do such a wide range of roles. You know, he's done Zoolander. I mean, he's done this. And yeah, it's been on my top 10 for several years, and it's never coming off. I love it. So good. You know, again,
definitely.
You need to check it out. You'll love it. Movie that kind of sticks with you for a long time.
So it's another one with a great soundtrack, by the way.
Yes,
you know,
fantastic
beautiful
soundtrack. Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. I absolutely love it. It's on my top 10 as well. Yeah. My next one is Minority Report.
Hey.
Yeah. So not a lot of people have seen this movie. I hadn't seen it till a few months ago. It came out. I don't know exactly. I think maybe early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's a movie that takes place in the year 2054.
Hey.
So way out there, and it's a futuristic world.
So
where
I'll be 54 when this movie comes true.
Exactly. It's a futuristic world where this technology has been created that allows the police force to see a murder before it happens.
Yeah.
And so they're able to predict who's going to commit the murder, and then they'll go arrest that person and convict them of the murder before they do it, before they kill them.
So it's kind of like Captain America: The Winter Soldier in a way, where they're foreseeing the crime before it happens and just taking them out.
True, exactly. But and then what happens is this machine, it at one point predicts someone murdering another person, and that someone who's murdering someone else is one of the police officers who runs the whole operation.
Hey.
You know, and he's played by Tom Cruise, and so this whole movie, he doesn't believe he's gonna commit the murder, and if he stays there, they're gonna arrest him and they're gonna put him in jail because that's what they do, you know. And so the whole movie is him trying to escape and prove that he's not gonna commit the murder, and it's really good. It's such a cool idea, you know, and the technology is so cool, and Tom Cruise, of course, does great as it. And it has some great twists in it, and it's a real cool, fun movie that definitely needs to go give it a watch. But yeah, definitely cool. So
pretty good.
Minority Report.
There you go.
Yeah, it's great though. Go watch it. Go give it a try. Give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
My next film is. What time are we at, by the way? I don't want to take
43 minutes.
43 minutes. Okay, so why don't we just do 2 more films?
I got one more. Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, I have one that's kind of two. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. My next film is. Gotta choose one of these. I'm gonna go with Arthur Christmas. Okay.
Hey. We talked about this way back in the day.
Did we?
Yeah,
we talked about it in our
remember?
Christmas episode that time. Yes. So this is, in my opinion, the best Christmas movie ever.
Yeah. It's great.
Essentially, it's this animated movie. It's British, so it's got Imelda Staunton, Umbridge, Jim Broadbent, Slughorn, James McAvoy, Professor X, and all of these other actors who are kind of British icons in it. And it's about the family of Santa Claus, essentially. Arthur is played by James McAvoy. He's the main character, and he's like kind of the son that Santa doesn't really like. He's got all this Christmas spirit, but he's kind of awkward. And then he's got his other brother named Steve, who's kind of like the tech-savvy one. And they make it into this whole, like, basically Santa Claus has a helicarrier, you know, where he, like, drops in elves over every city or whatever to deliver the presents. And it's just really clever in that way. But towards the end, or really throughout the whole thing, the music's great. And it gets so well-written and heartfelt. Ultimately, it becomes this whole kind of family generational thing because it's got the grandpa was Santa at one point. Now the current Santa, and then the next one is going to be Steve or Arthur. And so it's really got this whole generational theme to it. And the motivations of each character are just really well written. And their kind of weaknesses and you know, things that they're good at as well. Where Arthur's always worrying about everything, and towards the end he kind of turns that into sort of an advantage for him. And so it's an incredibly well-written film.
Yeah.
Again, British, so that's why. And I know from the surface level it sounds like a dumb, you know, kids movie, Santa Claus and stuff. But again, just well-written characters. That's what makes it so good. So that's what I have to say. It's my favorite Christmas movie.
This is another one I need to see again. You know, I saw it when it first came out on Redbox, but that was when I really wasn't looking at films the way I am now.
Yeah.
So.
And it's hilarious. That's another thing. Just hilarious.
That's cool. And Christmas is around the corner, if you will.
Hey.
You know? So
just wait till Christmas and watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good. All right. So my last one, too, is you'll help me out on this one, but it's Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Hey!
Which I think a lot of people have heard about it, but I don't think it gets enough credit for how it is, you know? And it's basically about how a scientist named Will Rodman, who's played by James Franco, he is experimenting on apes, this drug that he hopes to cure humans of Alzheimer's and stuff, and of diseases, who basically just increases their brain capacity or whatever.
Yeah.
But in doing this, he's made a whole race and generation of apes just as smart as humans, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Rise of the Planet of the Apes is
Rise of the Dawn.
Exactly. Rise of the Planet of the Apes is how the Dr. Will Rodman, he acquires this young monkey as a baby named Caesar.
Yeah.
Who's played by Andy Serkis. And of course, phenomenal job.
Phenomenal acting in that.
It's so good.
He's this is so for those who don't know, this is a prequel to Planet of the Apes, the '60s film, which I went back and watched after I saw these, and it's it's a movie made in the '60s. It's pretty dumb, but
sure.
It's good for that time,
cool.
And it's quite able to be appreciated still.
Mm-hmm.
But so this is kind of a gritty retelling prequel thing. I think Rise is fantastic. I like Dawn better, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's got some really interesting social commentary on gun control and stuff, as well as the effects in it are multiplied in terms of how good they are by tenfold. And that's one of the things that makes these movies so good for me. I can't believe that they didn't win Best Effects at the Oscars. Okay,
I know.
Interstellar won over these, which Interstellar has great effects, but nowhere
Not as
near.
Good as this. No.
Because these apes are photorealistic.
They look so real.
There is nothing that looks fake about them. They are. The hair is matted and textured. It's incredible.
When it's wet, you see the little drops.
Just incredible.
It's so
Oh
good.
my gosh. Best effects I've ever seen in a movie to date.
Definitely.
Like, that's period. I've never seen better effects in a movie. Maybe Mad Max, but in terms of CGI, this is the best CGI ever.
It is, definitely is. And they're both really emotional stories, you know?
Yes, they're well told.
Great.
Yeah.
Very emotional. And another thing that I love about them is the monkeys, other than a few words, they don't really speak, you know? But yet they were able to convey so much thought and emotion just through the expression of their face, you know, which is just done so well. And like when you have monkeys that just go ho, ho ha ha the whole movie, you know, it's kind of you gotta be sure to get that right, and they really do, you know. It's just done so well, and I don't see how these movies don't get more credit. And as you said, didn't win Best CGI or whatever, you know, at the Oscars. It's just. Yeah, it's amazing that they didn't win.
Well, and I think the kind of emotion and storytelling is a little bit better in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but Dawn has a lot. It's a lot way grittier. Some fantastic action, like a monkey freaking spearing a bear. You know, and
so good.
Yeah, they're solid movies. So underrated.
Fantastic.
No one really remembers them. I think honestly, War of the Planet of the Apes is coming out in 2017 next year. That's I'm more anticipating. I'm anticipating that more than Justice League. Honestly, I love these movies. They are great. So
this has potential to be one of the best trilogies. You know, if they stop at War, love it. Absolutely love it. So good. Definitely go give this a watch if you haven't. You know,
my last film is Holes. For those who haven't seen Holes, okay, you're gonna love it. I have never met a person who didn't love this movie.
I've
met
it
people.
To me when we were together. I watched it for the first time, which is great.
I should say I've never met a teenage boy who didn't love this movie, because this movie is very much a teenage boy movie. Essentially, it's the only good Shia LaBeouf film, for one thing. But essentially, he is a dude named Stanley Yelnats. It's based on a book as well, which is a great book. And he's basically, they think that he's stolen these prize tennis shoes from basketball icon, which he hasn't. But so he's convicted of this crime that he didn't commit.
It's baseball icon, but it's
and he's sent to this camp called Camp Green Lake, where they make they make, I don't know what to call them, the prisoners dig holes all day to build their character, is what they're told. They're digging holes to build their character. And it's all kind of a metaphor for high school because it's got all these crazy, bad people there and stuff. He's like the odd one out and whatever.
Sure.
Because he didn't commit a crime. And so he starts to kind of make friends, and he starts to kind of maybe uncover some stuff of why they're really digging the holes. Because maybe there's a little bit more to it than building character.
Yeah, it's great.
And also, throughout the whole film, we're seeing these flashbacks to the Wild West, which is what this camp it was originally like a town. And what kind of transpired in that town that's led to this whole what's happening now, and the lake has dried up and stuff. And this movie's written by the author of the book, the screenplay was, so it's very, very on point.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's always been one of my favorite movies. It's another movie that's always on and off my top 10. But I've never met a teenage boy that didn't like this movie. Admittedly, there are some cheesy elements to it in the flashback parts, but it's just a well-told story, great adventure. Like it's a classic kind of boys adventuring wilderness type thing. And
definitely. It's totally like a teenage boy movie. I think that's the reason they like it. It really applies to that age, the teenage boy age range.
Yeah.
So
the teenage boy age range, which isn't us apparently.
Yeah.
Because we're talking at it from a distance.
Yeah. It's great though.
There you go.
Give it a watch.
It's real good. So is that it, Hitchcock?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are underrated movies. Essentially,
Lots of them.
I've said essentially involved in this episode. I've been noticing. I need to quit that pattern. I'm going to put all these movies in the description below so that you can look them up, give them a watch if you want. These are all movies that maybe should be checked out again. That would be pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have a party. Binge watch all of them.
There you go. Just binge watch all these completely unrelated movies that we've just strung together.
So there you good.
Go. All right. So pick of the week, Hitchcock. Pick of the week.
I really didn't watch anything new this week.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Civil War.
There you go.
We watched that for the second time. Still can't believe I just saw it for the second time.
Okay, I paid $3 extra for 1 day shipping for Civil War, and I still got it 3 days after it actually came out on Blu-ray.
Fantastic.
Annoying me.
That's great.
But yeah,
it's great.
I rewatched it again 2 nights ago, and it's still great. You will have noticed on my Twitter that every time I watch Civil War, I just have new musings about it, of how good it is.
And the behind the scenes are great, all the stuff that they give, and it's just so cool, so cool. Well, such
one
a
thing that they
film.
said in the behind the scenes was how they kind of gave Hawkeye a kind of personality this time around. It was like a Han Solo-esque personality. He was the Han Solo of this movie, and I could not have put it better myself.
Yeah.
This is the best Hawkeye we've ever had in a Marvel movie. And he's just hilarious and well written. And it's the best kind of characterization of him so far. He's really good.
That just shows he's barely in the movie, except for that one fight scene, and even that little amount of time, they do him so well. Just the development of all these characters is phenomenal. Just done.
It really is, because especially with characters like Cap and Tony. I said this on Twitter. They've been through so much in their movies now, so many adventures, and so much has happened to them, and they've had so many arguments and stuff that whatever they do, whatever situation you place them in now, there's so much subtext to it, where you go, oh, that stuff means a lot more when you think of what's happened to them in the past and what they must be thinking now, and yeah, it's the character writing is so well done in this, and I do have some complaints. I think the CGI, or not the CGI, the cinematography can be a little bit bland in some bits. The airport battle isn't particularly eye-popping, for one thing. It's set against like a gray backdrop, but it's still a great battle.
It is. The choreographing in this movie is so good. One of the best.
It's real good.
Yeah, so good.
So the Blu-ray is quite worth getting because the behind the scenes are good. What's even better? I redeemed the digital copy on iTunes, and on iTunes there's even more bonus features when you redeem it on there. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was pretty good.
Cool stuff.
There you go. That's pick of the week, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my iTunes right now. I've got Dawn of the Planet of the Apes on digital copy. I forgot about that. Maybe I'll rewatch it today. That's pretty good.
I rewatched Stranger Things last night.
Oh!
Yes.
Did you watch all of it?
No, 3 episodes.
Started. Which 3?
Mom. The first 3.
Ah, yes.
I'm watching it with my mom and sister for the first time. Still great.
What did they think of it?
Ellie loved it. My sister loved it, but my mom was just kind of like, eh. I'm like, how are you like?
How?
What the?
My family freaking loved it. I've watched it 3 times. I watched it once by myself in the basement. Yeah. Once with my family, and then once with my friend Carson.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's real good.
I guess rewatching it, I mean, you notice little stuff, of course, that you didn't notice before, and you just can't help but smile when like Dustin's saying stuff, and yeah, fantastic.
It's funny because the media has now caught on to it. Like, when it came out, it wasn't getting much media coverage. And now, suddenly, the Stranger Things kids are on, like, every talk show and every website and stuff. And I'm really scared for Season 2 because the reason Season 1 was so good...
Expectations,
Right. The reason Season 1 was so good was no one was expecting it. And you felt like you were, like, the only one who was doing this. Like this was a special kind of secret thing that no one else knew about. Now, when Season 2 comes out, it's going to be huge. It's going to be trailers and trailers and stuff. And it's not going to be that way, no matter what they do. So I'm just hoping that my expectations are low and it surprises me again,
I'm just hoping they don't crash and burn,
No, please. So,
Please, Duffer Brothers, no.
I would love to see the Duffer Brothers and the Russo Brothers collab. That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be great.
So good. The 2 brothers of Hollywood.
They should totally do it.
Anyway, so where can people find us on social media?
I am at nerd_stream7 on Instagram and Twitter.
And I am at BlockbustedPod on Instagram and Twitter. You can go hit that up. Yeah. If you'd like to contact the show, you can essentially... Oh, there it is again. Essentially. Oh! You can email blockbustedpodcast@yahoo.com. Or just tweet at us. That's a lot easier, And, by the way, Blockbusted is sponsored by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/blockbusted for a free audiobook of your choice today. That will be forever ingrained in my mind.
You know what you could do? You could go get the Holes book and listen to that. And then go see the Holes movie. That book is a great book,
yes.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Do it.
Once again, those movies will be in the description if you want to go check them out. So
check them out.
There you go. All right.
Cool stuff.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. What are we going to do next week, Hitchcock? What do you think?
Who's to say?
Magnificent 7 is coming out. Maybe we'll both go see that. Who's to say?
Maybe we could both see some Western and do a Western theme episode.
We could do a Western episode. I haven't seen very many Westerns in general. Seen Lone Ranger, and that was crap. So that's about it, really, when it comes down to it. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the next episode, right?
We will. Yeah.
Bye.
Happy Batman Day.
Yes. What day is it today, sir? Why, it's Batman Day. That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.